मनः प्राणेन्द्रियक्रिया योगिनाव्यक्ति स्मृति समाप्त शांति that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, which thus controls the activities of the mind, life, and senses, is determination in the moral goodness. Yoga is the means to understand the Supreme Soul. One who is steadily fixed in the Supreme Soul with determination, concentrating one's mind, life, and sensory activities on the Supreme, engages in Krishna consciousness. That sort of determination is in the mode of goodness. The word avyabhicharinya is very significant, for it indicates that persons who are engaged in Krishna consciousness are never deviated by any other activity. Yaya tu dharma kamarthan dhritaya dharyate arjuna prasangena falakankshi dhriti sapartha rajasi. But that determination by which one holds fast to fruitive results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification is of the nature of passion. O Arjuna, any person who is always desirous of fruitive results in religious or economic activities, whose only desire is sense gratification, and whose mind, life, and senses are thus engaged, is in the mode of passion. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam visidam madamena cha namunchati durmedha dhriti sapartha tamasi. And that determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, and illusion. Such unintelligent determination, O son of Pritha, is in the mode of darkness. It should not be concluded that a person in the mode of goodness does not dream. Here, dream means too much sleep. Dreaming is always present either in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. Dreaming is a natural occurrence. But those who cannot avoid oversleeping, who cannot avoid the pride of enjoying the material objects, who are always dreaming of lording it over the material world, and whose life, mind, and senses are thus engaged, are considered to have determination in the mode of ignorance. It is very interesting to note here that the Lord is discriminating between these three kinds of determination. From a usual notion, the determination is equated to the gut feeling. If you have the guts to do it, you can do it. Make up your mind, pull up your cuffs, roll your sleeves, and just jump. That's the kind of words and talks we hear about determination. But how does determination come about? Not much is talked about that. Sometimes in movies they show that it takes a catastrophe for one to get determined to take some revenge or something. Sometimes it takes a very massive insult on the part of a person to be able to develop that determination. Sometimes this person, just in a moment, he just develops some determination, something happens to him. Sometimes some bells are ringing in the temple and he develops determination, something, some clouds are thundering, and the bells are ringing in the temple on their own, the wind is blowing and he develops determination. So, it's a very weird concept of how exactly determination is developed, is it not? So they portray determination as if determination is like an umbrella. I mean, it is there in one of your racks. You can just pick it up and walk out, in the world. Just pick it up, open the door, and then just do it. But actually, so that's a problem with material affairs, because material affairs at best can explain, if this is done, then what can happen? But how that has to be done, not much clue is there about it. So material world can show effects. Okay, if you have some moral principles, you can be, you can win, if you're demoniac, you'll be destroyed. Some effects can be shown. But how exactly? What are the causal factors? That from a materialistic perspective, it's impossible, very difficult to get that understanding actually. So here the Lord is explaining determination is a cultivation. That's the first point. Determination is a matter of cultivation. Determination doesn't come just by taking a boxing pad and just by boxing it up left and right, up and down, and then one gets determined. That is not how determination comes. Determination comes, so it's a cultivation. It is systematic, scientific, and therefore, so one has to be focused on the growth of determination. Then it grows. It's just like cultivating a plant. So determination is not a kick. It's somehow or the other, some chemical reaction takes place, a kick comes. It is not a kick. It is something which develops over a progressive period of time. Jai Shri Nitai Chand Gaur Chand Bhagwan. Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani Sudarshan Maharaj ki jai. It is something which develops by cultivation. So you see, materialistic vision, anything abstract, they just make it happen in a moment. No. But they zoom it on the effects, is it not? A person is trying for, say, becoming some successful in something. So his effort, they will just finish it off in a song, Okay, he's working hard and all that. Now he's become very successful and how he's enjoying and what all wonderful things are or whatever things are happening. And that will be the whole theme of the movie. But what is more important, endeavor or result? The endeavor will only finish in one song, 3-minute song. But after that, he's chilling out, he's roaming around the whole world, he's, that is what will be shown, like that. So it's a difference of focus actually. But you see, the Shastras are pointing us to the real thing actually, where it can bring about a change. That's why you see in people's life no change comes about, because the whole zoom is on effects. And there is no focus on cultivation. And therefore, throughout life, a person cannot experience any transformation. That's the point. Now, the interesting thing which the Lord is revealing here is, determination is of 3 types. Now, we just thought, okay, it's a gut feeling, you just, box a pad and you get determination, You just, but determination is of 3 types. Now, what do we mean, okay, it is of 3 types? Yeah, what do we mean that it is of 3 types? So just like, it is just like what we eat, our health becomes accordingly. Our body becomes what we eat, is it not? Similarly, determination is, see the overall effect or the overall quality of determination is basically develops on the kind of food which is given. If you sow pumpkin seed in the ground, you're not going to get mangoes. No. It doesn't happen in this material world. No. If you sow lemon, you're going to get lemon. If you sow watermelon, you'll get watermelon. No. Cross connection does not happen, at least in universal affairs. No. It may happen in material dealings. Person wanted to do good, bad happens. No. Sometimes person goes to glorify, but the other person takes it as an insult. No, so it only happens in material affairs. It doesn't happen in universal dealings actually that way. So the point what we are learning is the three types of determination. That means there are these three types of plants which grow actually. And what type of soil cultivation we do, what type of fodder we give, that crop will grow. And once that crop grows, then it's very difficult to step back and step out of it. Just like if you sit in a flight, after the flight takes up, very difficult to get out of it. Yeah, if it is a rickshaw, we can say, Bhaiya, bhaiya, ruk ja, please stop, you know. गलत उससे बैठ गया. Bus also you can tell him, बोलेगा नहीं अब stop पे रुकेंगे, ऐसे नहीं रुकेंगे सड़क पे. तो stop पे रुकेगा 1 kilometer आगे. Then you have to come back, whatever, 500 meters, 1 kilometer. But flight very difficult. It will stop at the next stop. Next stop is 500 miles. So you sit from Calcutta, and then you want to get out of it. The next stop will be Singapore. Is it not? And you have to come back all the way. Is it not? So this is the point actually that therefore the Lord is explaining that we have to be very focused on cultivation. There are these three kinds of determination. See, this is a very beautiful understanding. That means determination is not a gifted sort of a feeling. Sometimes they show, okay, there is a hero. Only he is having that valor. He is having that, that determination. Somehow or the other, it is something which is gifted in him. And all others are just going down to him. From where he got it, he also doesn't know. Only just, he's just showing off, like that. So determination is not a gifted kind of a feeling. Or, determination is a feeling, or determination is a quality which everyone can develop. And there is no, you see, in how the Lord is revealing this quality of determination, there is no failure. It's not that one will fail in developing determination. That's why the Lord is explaining three kinds of determination. You understand how each and every determination, type of determination develops. So you give the right food, that kind of determination will grow. And what grows is going to actually catapult us. So what grows is actually going to catapult us. So determination is like its effect is a thrust. So whichever type of determination grows, it just pushes us in that direction. So therefore actually we see that okay, we have to exercise choice. So although you see, this is the beautiful point, although the living entity, the Jivatma, is very infinitesimal, and therefore the Jivatma doesn't have much powers. But even though he is infinitesimal and not much power, quite weak and very easily overwhelmed by situations, but by executing the right choice, he can make a difference. How he can make a difference? Because the strength or the potential energy or the resistance to stand, that which upholds, just develops by the right kind of atmosphere and the right kind of food. It doesn't require one to develop 16 pegs, 32 pegs, in the body and all that. It's not that arduous as that. It just is a matter of choosing the right kind of environment and therefore the right kind of food. That's the point. That's the point. And if you are choosing the right kind of food, we can rest assured that the proper determination will develop. Is it not? So here the Lord is explaining in 33 that you see this, what makes this determination in the mode of goodness unbreakable. It is made unbreakable because of its sustenance by steadfastness in the practice of yoga. So steadfastness in the practice of yoga, that means by regulated practice of devotional service, the sattviki determination will grow. Now, the regulated practice of devotional service, sattviki determination grows actually. So to ourselves practice, we have to surround ourselves with those who are regularly practicing. So we get inspired to practice. Is it not? First we are regularly irregular, then we become irregularly regular, then we become regularly regular. Then it leads to steadfastness. That is a progression, is it not? So just by surrounding oneself, so that means what we want to inculcate, we have to surround ourselves with that. We want to see that all around, is it not? If we want to inculcate, and that is why association has been stressed as a very important factor, because what we want to inculcate, we have to see that all around. When we see that, we start taking it in, is it not? And when we start taking it in, then our determination grows. Then it becomes much easier to take it in, is it not? Then it becomes a default setting to take it in. So, by steadfastness in yoga practice, the sattviki determination grows. That's what the Lord explains. Now, it grows so much so, how to understand that it is becomes stout enough, strong enough. Then the Lord is explaining here that when it is stout enough and strong enough, it can, that the sattviki determination can start controlling the mind and the senses. That means sattviki intelligence has become strong enough. It starts controlling the mind and the senses. So initially, a person is in a state of helplessness. Mind and senses are completely out of control. It's like a Maoist government or a terrorist government. Is it not? The mind and senses are completely out of control. But sattviki intelligence, but one remains steadfast in the practices of Krishna consciousness, the Bhakti Yoga, then the sattviki determination will grow. And slowly, one will start getting control over the mind. One can actually move the mind. So inability to move the mind should not, therefore, or inability to control the senses should not discourage a sadhaka. But it is only an indicator that the food and diet is not sufficient as of yet. So more food and more diet is required. Person has to go on practicing a little more. Person has to go on practicing a little more, intensifying a little more, continuing for a little more, persevering a little more. Because that integral has not reached the threshold value. Because once it reaches a threshold, sattviki determination can actually move the mind and move the senses. So concentration brings about steadfastness, but concentration is brought about by surrounding ourselves with the object of concentration, is it not? By surrounding ourselves with the object of concentration. Therefore, you see, Krishna consciousness, enthusiasm in Krishna consciousness is not very difficult to achieve, is it not? This goes to show that, it's not very difficult to achieve. That's why in the association of devotees, it is very important principle that when one is in the association of devotees, one should just flow in that association, allow himself to be flown by that association, not create resistance. Because you create resistance, the further march is going to be really, really difficult. But you just allow ourselves to be flown, allow ourselves to be, in the flow, then we will see that the practice becomes easier. It becomes quite easy and we can go on. And Satvika determination will also develop. So that is why one of the very important principles is that to allow ourselves to be in the flow. What does that mean? That means, you see, when there is association of Vaishnavas, any Vaishnava community, devotee community, it has a lot of intense Krishna conscious events, is it not? So there are times when festivals are there. It's a high intensity spiritual engagement event, is it not? There are times where preaching camps are there, marathons are there, a marathon association is there. So what we have to do to be in the flow, just allow ourselves to be affected by it. Just allow, so that means what? Just be available for it. That's what it means. Just be available for it. So when we are available for it, then we will be just flown by that waves, is it not? So therefore, actually, then we are just flown by the waves. We just just be available for it. And one is flown by the waves, then 100% Satvika determination will develop. Why it will not develop? So that is the point. So sometimes we used to say, okay, that whenever there would be camps, so I was in Pune, then I used to see that there would be camps, then many of the inmates will plan to go home that time. So I became very agitated. I said, nothing doing. What is this nonsense going on? There is a camp, They said, no, Prabhu, first year camp, The first year camp is what? Our own general, So it's a family camp, So you should be there. What will I do? You, whatever you do, be there, Is it not? And whatever you do means what? Whatever we ask you to do, you do. Whatever needed to be done, you do. Is it not? We are doing, you also do. Is it not? From getting sabji to brooming the floor to everything. Is it not? So that's the point. Is it not? Because when one is available, then one feels a sense of belonging develops. Is it not? The sense of identification develops, and definitely the zoom, the focus develops. Here it is talking about zooming, concentrating. How will you concentrate? Just be in the flow. Concentration points are there so much in our Krishna consciousness. So that's why one should allow ourselves, not that we are saying, no, it's a tight time, maybe I'll not go, maybe I'll back out this time, I've done a lot of services, I've done a lot of camps, this, not this one. Then it becomes a problem, is it not? Then we are wondering how will that determination come and all. Like that, it never gets installed, is it not? Satvika determination. So it is important to take association. Now, it is important to be available. And you see, just by being available, it's not very difficult to make ourselves available, is it not? Just by being available, you see, our we will be able to handle situations with greater control. Why? Because Satvika determination will develop and mind and senses will start getting control. Like that. So that's the point which you have to understand. Rather, you will see a sincere sadhaka is enthusiastic for everything. If you just tell him Hari Bol, he'll start jumping up and down. Okay, what is the festival? What is the service? What is the mission? So he's excited about it because he knows that this is the way in which we can develop this Satvika determination. And it is only the Satvika determination which can give one the freedom to decide his destination. To actually, to dissolve the provocations. The Rajasic and Tamasic determination will not help on doing that. Rajasic and Tamasic determination will help on drown. That's what is Rajasic and Tamasic determination. So we see that definitely. So that is why you will see when one is in the material world and one is all around our material dealings. So one is seeing bombardment of sense gratification here, there, everywhere. What is going to happen? That food is going to breed or germinate a Rajasic determination. Then one starts becoming fruitive. Fruitive. Like that. Fruitive. Then one starts becoming fruitive, like that. So, like we have seen, what used to happen is that in Pune, sometimes, so sometimes what will happen is that some of our brahmacharis, they would decide to marry, say for example. And Rajeshan Prabhu would agree, if it is honest, it's no problem, and he would give permission, blessings, everything. Then he would request the congregation to support, So many times what would happen is that many of our devotees, they would just take up some temple service, They would just take up some temple service, Now, and then life is dedicated. They are still coming for morning program, The husband, wife both are coming. They are in the temple. They are doing temple services. Temple services will give some, like in terms of finances, it will give some stipend or something, Some 10,000, 15,000, The temple service, is it not? But prasad is arranged 3 times prasad plus 10,000, 15,000, like that, something like that. So maybe 15,000 or something like that. So simple but very intense. I mean, in that, so then we would not feel as if much change has happened in the devotee. He was the same fervor, the same enthusiasm, and all that. But then what will happen is that over a period of time, then they would associate with some congregation devotees, who are working and all that. And then some transmission will happen. So we would see 1 year, 1.5 years, the devotees were there in the temple. And then after that, they want to take up an outside job, they want some, they want to purchase a flat, they want to purchase a, and then we would see decline, Now that Prabhu doesn't come every day morning program, Now the Prabhu is difficult to find him, so why? What happened? Brainwashing, Is it not? In one sense. So what is that brainwashing? That is, that okay, you need money. How will you survive in this world? You need money. You need facility. You need vehicle. You need this. You need that. So what about the prime need of Krishna consciousness? So, and that will go away. And I would say Rajeshan would be very much unhappy with that. But that's the kind of channel. So that is the point. Whom one associates with is what kind of vibrations one gets. Is it not? Now those devotees of congregation, who are transmitters of this kind of vibrations. Now, how they are becoming transmitters? They also don't know that what they are transmitting. Because now they are in the world. If you only visit temple once in a week, and if you only attend one arati, in a week, like that, and and the only service you do is maybe some prasadam serving for 10-15 minutes, half an hour or something like that in a week. Then that means what is happening at the other time? The other time all sense gratification bombardment is going. So in that atmosphere, how is it possible for one to develop sattviki determination? You're not giving the food for the sattviki determination. Is it not? If you want to give food for sattviki determination, at least stay next to temple. But not just stay next to temple. Consider temple as your home, and your home as some waiting room. Is it not? But okay, I just go there for sleeping. But temple is my actual home. Is it not? like that. Then you're going to get positive inputs, and that will be the food for sattvic intelligence. But otherwise, if there is no positive food, all sense gratification, all inputs, so we see why placement time our devotees get knocked out. Not that they don't have that substance, or they're not well trained or something like that, or they're lacking something in sincerity. So much bombardment, these people are so lusty, greedy, and all that. With open mouth and tongues, they are just looking, and with all those vibrations, even a sane person, even established, he gets knocked out. He said, "Oh, chanting the anytime I can do, like that." You see, everyone gets knocked out like that. Uh, so we have seen actually, like some placement times where the devotees make a group and they stay in Seva Kunj. Then you see they are coming for morning program. Their rounds are also happening, and placements also happen fine. But when they feel, when that group, is not in Seva Kunj, they go and stay in the hostel. Finish, no money, that till the 10 days, no chanting has gone for a toss, no waking time, sleeping time, complete, finish. Why? Bombardments. It's all about bombardment, is it not? It's all about bombardment. So, what kind of vibrations we are hearing and whose talks we are giving priority to, it all decides. It decides everything, is it not? Like that. So we see and we work with devotees who are more dedicated. We will also develop some desire to serve. We work with those who are highly passionate about ambitions, finances. We will also say नहीं Krishna consciousness ठीक है, वो सब ठीक है, लेकिन ये तो बहुत जरूरी है ना, is it not? So you see, it's all about food.